7. How come there are so many people who claim to be Christians and yet they act like they're better than everyone else? This is the main reason I quit going to church. I've gone to many churches throughout my life, and in each one of them, either the pastor was boring or the people were just too fake. You know, phony Christians. If you're not talking with the church members on a regular basis, and they have your information but they never call you, instead you have to go there to find out what events are coming up, they're not a Christian church. A real Christian church is a place where everyone gets along with each other. Giving your life to Jesus does not mean you're better than everyone else. It means you're supposed to be one of God's servants. You're supposed to spread His word. By the way, if you say you're a Christian, but yet you have no desire to lead others to Christ, then you're not really saved at all. You are pretending to be a Christian, and God can see that.
I decided to start this video out like that, because the fact of the matter is, I am disgusted with Christianity. Not necessarily the faith itself, but all the people out there who claim to be Christians, yet they don't treat people any different than they did before they supposedly got saved. Christianity isn't even supposed to be a religion, because when Jesus walked the earth, He hated religion. Not to mention all these idiot Christians who claim that hell doesn't exist. Since Jesus came down here to save us from going to hell, if you say you're a Christian but yet you go around saying that there is no hell, then exactly what did Jesus save you from? If you don't believe hell exists, then you have no business claiming to be a Christian anyway. You are just a walking contradiction, and you're turning Christianity into a cult. I don't think Jesus would approve of that. Anyway, I've been to quite a few churches in my life, and let me tell you something. All the churches may look different, but the people are all the same. It don't matter which one I've gone to in my life. After a while of going to a church, people treated every one of my visits like it was my first. It's like the people were never interested in getting to know me. Don't sit there and tell me that America is a Christian nation. How could we claim to be a Christian nation when the USA is the most socially disconnected country on earth? It's like no matter where I've gone in this country, whether to church or anywhere else, people are the same everywhere. I lived in Gladstone, Missouri for nearly a year, and at one point in time I decided to go church shopping, if you will. I went to a few churches, and in one of them, the people were not very friendly. Not to mention the church that I mentioned in my first anti-feminism video. I went to that church for about a month, then after realizing that I wasn't really connecting with anyone, I stopped going. Plus, how come the only way to find out what's going on in a church is by attending it? If they have your information, yet they never invite you to their service, something's wrong. A country where everyone is socially disconnected cannot label itself as a Christian nation. Now, America was founded upon Christian fundamentals and whatnot, but over the years this country has really lost its credibility as a Christian nation. Of all the Christians on this earth, only 10% of them are true Christians. The rest are just actors. If you want to compare 10% to the entire world population, then you'll notice that 10% is not a large number. I remember what Pastor Steven Anderson said about people going to church, like, if you're not saved, you got no business going to church, or however he put it. He's got a good point there, because the whole point of a church is for people to connect with each other and worship God. I'm not seeing a lot of connection in these churches today. People in today's society, they treat everyone they don't know personally like total strangers with no intention of meeting those people. So what was the worst church I ever been to? Well, although I won't give the exact name of it, it's in Kansas City, Missouri, where my former Boy Scout troop is. We had a thing called Scout Sundays, where we had to go to a specific church once a month. This one church that's above the scout room where we had all our meetings, the absolute most rudest people I ever went to church with. How that place even labels itself to be a church when the people are the way they are is beyond me. I remember this one negative experience I had at this one church I used to attend. It was when the pastor told us to offer each other a sign of peace. When everyone greets each other and shakes hands, you know. There was this gal in front of me. She was probably my age or a few years younger. When I reached out to shake her hand, she just rolls her eyes at me and barely touches my hand. Then she just turns back around like she didn't even want to look at me. I think, okay, I see how you are. I think it was a year or so before I went back to that church. It didn't surprise me that when I went back, the people there were no different. They were the same as they were when I last went there. I really don't understand why we build any more churches when it's really only unsaved, stuck-up people going to them. I wouldn't call a place like that a church, more like a cult. My question to you phony Christians out there, if you're going to treat every new churchgoer like a stranger, and you treat that person like you have no desire to connect with them, then why would you call yourself a Christian at all? Christians are supposed to welcome everyone with open arms, but throughout the years in every church I've attended, I haven't seen that at all. These people don't even strike up a conversation with you unless they're interested in getting to know you. I'm not seeing that in churches today at all. Yet we call ourselves a Christian nation. Yeah, I'm impressed.